is going to be a little bit silly, but wow. Hopefully that was loud enough. Alrighty. Oh, well, shit. Should probably give you a quick little rundown. So, just gonna have you introduce yourself. Hi, my name is. Say your name and I am me.
So, should be Jeffe or Jeff?
However you want to introduce yourself.
Jeffe.
I don't know how to do this, and you feel like I'm on ABC or something.
You're perfectly fine. Yeah, just introduce yourself and I am me.
Now, my name is Jeffery Wren. I love life, I love God, I love my friends. Now, what shall we do? Talk about me or you? Go ahead and pop the question.
Alrighty.
I want to talk about her. How about that? I got one of the best friends in the world. Actually, I got two of the best friends in the world sitting by me. I'll introduce them later. At this time, I'm kind of stoned. Had a beer. Love my life. I'm on the water on a barrier island. What more could I ask for? Got a great friend doing the videos. I'm baffled for words. So, somebody ask me a question.
Alright, Evan. So what's the first memory that you can recall?
My parents over in Germany, after I was born in Winter Park, I'd have to say they used to give me a shot of whiskey with honey in it because I had the croup. And I guess that's why I became an alcoholic. You never know about those things. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Alright. What do you, throughout your life, if you had to pick a job or a trade or something that you felt really matched you or helped define you, what would it be?
That would have to be when I worked for out of the research triangle with entropy environmentalists. And I went around the country checking particulate sampling. That's climbing the big stacks 400 feet up, sticking probes in. It wasn't bad. It was like being on the airplane, you know. But long hours, good time. I was real young. That would be my favorite job. Till Reagan relaxed Clean Air Act, and I was screwed. But life goes.
Do you remember the first kiss that you ever had?
Yeah, 6th grade. My mom, I rode in the back seat with this girl. I think she was, beside that point. Anyway, I got my first kiss.
Nice. You remember the first time that you fell in love?
Yeah, with my first wife.
What was her name?
Linda.
Linda?
Linda Jean. Shouldn't say her last name though.
How old were you when you got married?
40, I think 44.
44?
Yeah.
For your first marriage? Wow.
Yeah.
That's usually pretty late in life.
Yeah, but I'm married into a pre-made family, 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. Adopted them all, and I got rough life. I wore the same pair of tennis shoes for a year and a half.
Wow.
They all had new cars. I was driving a '76 Pontiac. Good God. Year before I graduated high school. Shit.
Oh, wow.
I could tell you about high school when we sat in the parking lot and got high as shit before we went into school. But I won't do that right now.
What's the favorite, or rather, where's the favorite your favorite place that you've ever lived?
Beaufort, North Carolina.
So where we are here.
Yeah, on my boat in Beaufort, North Carolina.
What do you like about this place?
You can make great friends if, well, scenery, the islands. I'm on the barrier island. And the horses, the wild horses. Where the hell can you go unless you go down to the Caribbean or somewhere? You see wild horses, you see coyotes, you see raccoons, everything over there on Carrot Island. I love the atmosphere. I love my friends. And it means a lot of it.
If you could live in any place, anytime, anywhere in the world, when and where would that be?
If I had a choice, I'd have to say Belize. And
Yes.
just buy a little piece of land there, dock my boat out there in the water, and build a shack. That would be the ultimate.
Have your own little South American paradise.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, speaking of South America, have you ever been to any other countries?
Yeah, Costa Rica, Mexico, a few others, but like I said earlier, kind of stoned. Can't remember them all. Just being honest. Go ahead. Do you want to ask me one?
Actually, I am kind of curious about her question. So, if you could have your own soundtrack to play when you wake up in the morning, when you're walking around during the day, just doing your normal thing, and it could play in the background anytime, what song would that be?
I'd have to say any song that Aaron Neville's wrote.
Aaron Neville.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a hoot to see you walking down the street hearing Aaron Neville singing in the background.
I'm sure some people have. I played it this morning. Yeah. He's got the most beautiful voice I think I've ever heard, coming from a man of his stature. Big old black mark on his head, the mole. He's got the most beautiful voice I've ever heard. I think.
Do you have a favorite song by him?
There's the last train coming. All you got to do is hop on board.
I love that. What do you think life will be like in 500 years?
Who gives a fuck? I won't be here. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Oh, really? Not going to be here when Star Wars hits. And by the way, I've never seen one of those sci-fi movies. Never.
Never seen a science fiction movie.
Man, the only video game I ever played was, I think I was still in high school. What the hell was the name of it? Oh yeah, Pac.
Oh, the original Pac-Man?
That was way too cold. I was pissed. I mean, that really was.
Well,
that's it. No video games.
speaking of movies, do you remember the first film you ever saw?
I think it was a Walt Disney film, Pinocchio, I believe it was. That's where I learned how to lie. I'm serious.
Watching Pinocchio.
Yeah, it got me in a lot of trouble, but then I learned about the truth. Made a whole lot of difference in my life.
Were you like mischievous as a kid, or?
What was I? You must ask. Yeah, a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Seemed to get myself out of it. That's what my dad taught me. He said, boy, you got in, you get out. I ain't talking about jail, but I have been to prison twice.
Oh wow.
No,
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
I've known you now
not
about
on
2
bad
years.
points, and I'm not a felon. Okay, I'm not a felon. I'm sorry.
Do you remember the first song you ever heard?
Uh, yeah, it was by the Beatles. Let It Be.
Very nice.
Where my oldest brother turned me on to it. Yeah. Then Chicago came next. And it was all the, 60s, 70s, and 80s then.
Nice.
Then disco came in, made an ass out of itself trying. But I can dance, not anymore, but still can. I can do the Ollie shuffle. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's an inside personal thing, but you'll meet her later.
So, tomorrow morning you get to start building your dream garage. Every car you've ever wanted since you were a kid, mint condition.
Mhm.
What's the first car that you're putting in the garage?
Porsche tub.
Porsche tub?
It's called a tub. It's got to have Volkswagen engine in it, like they all did. It's just the lines on it are so round. There's not a sharp point. Just like I like my boats. My boats. See. No sharp corners down below. No sharp corners to catch the toe. Because it will break.
Very nice. I like that. What so far in your life do you think has been your greatest achievement?
Wow. Wow. Greatest achievement? I'd have to say, I don't think I've had it yet.
Really?
Yeah. And I wonder why I'm still here. Because it must be for a reason. I don't know why. When I figure that out and when it happens, I'm sure everybody will know. But my achievement was just growing up with my family. Yeah. Being close.
What's your proudest moment that you've had so far?
When I bought my last boat.
What kind of boat was it?
32-foot Bristol.
Nice.
Now I got to sell it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Get to the age, man, I can't do it anymore. But I still love it.
Well, I've talked with you a lot in the past about boats and sailing. How long have you been a sailor?
Since I was about 3 years old.
And how old are you now?
64.
So about 60, 61 years you've been on the water.
Yeah, on and off, and then I lived on the water for probably 40 years total. Never been put in a dock. Never.
Is there anywhere in the world, if you got a chance to sail there tomorrow, like a grand voyage that you haven't been to yet, where would it be?
I would have to say Ireland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there any specific area that you like, or you just want to go see the country as a
The
whole?
whole place. Because I'm got a little Irish in me. Parnell is my middle name, so
Oh, wow.
come to be my grandparents.
Really? Have you ever had a dream that was so real, so intense, that you still remember it to this day?
Yeah, I'd have to think of when I left that non-smoking nicotine patch on me one night. I had the most vivid dreams of being attacked by monsters. I mean, it really took, I thought I was doing acid or something. And, it was keeping it on all night. That's the most vivid dream I've had.
Wow. What's your happiest memory? just wrap
My
yourself.
father dying in my arms. That's my happiest memory.
Oh, wow. That's intense. Okay. Let's see.
He was my friend.
Take one.
Cheers. All right. What else the fuck you want to know?
Is there something that you've always wanted to do in your life that you haven't gotten the chance to do yet?
Sail around the world. Single hand.
A solo trip.
Yep. Wanted to be like the Dove. You know, you remember that 16-year-old boy that sailed around the world? Read all those books. My Side of the Mountain. Guy goes over the Adirondacks, hollows out a tree, catches the damn hawk that hunts for him. Yeah. That's how he grew up. Oh shit.
So, you said your favorite job was when you were working for the Research Triangle.
With Jeffery Environmentalist, largest environmentalist company in the world.
Okay, well, that being said, what would you say has been your most interesting job?
Delivering boats.
Delivering boats.
Yeah, to the islands, Keys, to Florida, Jersey, Nantucket, all those places.
Okay, so somebody would buy a boat down here and say they lived up in Cape Cod.
Mm-hmm.
You would end up sailing the boat from here up to Cape Cod for them.
Sure. As long as I had a good crew.
That sounds...
Got to have some good people with you and know pretty much what the hell they're doing. And, you know.
Well, being on the water for so long, I used to sail when I was in the Army and other times after that, where you find certain people in certain crews that they act like family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, brothers punching each other and the jokes back and forth. Is there anybody that you've been on a crew with or that you sailed with that you remember and you just had a blast with them? That was your buddy.
I would have to say that was I was taking a boat down to St. Martin, and I had a friend with me. Guy I went to high school with, a year older than me. Excuse me. And we were driving down. We were going down. We went out to catch the winds, and it cut down. We figured it'd take us about 9 days, 9 to 13 days. We're out there about 29 days. 29 days, and at that time, it's close, and you get on each other's nerves. You know, you're not up in time to do your stint at the helm. And then it got to the point one time, this is much vivid memory, got to the point, I said, if I want the shit out of you, I'll squeeze your head. And I said, oh, I'll put you in the dinghy. I'll tow you the rest of the way. Can I say his name? John Teeter. Fuck you.
That's a good friend.
And he lives here in Boca. Very great entrepreneur. Still a friend. Rides by and he says, fuck you, Joe. I got no problem with that. We go back way back. But yeah, that's one of the fondest. But
if you could go back and meet yourself at age 18, what advice would you give yourself?
I'd give myself The same advice my dad gave me. If I wasn't in bed by 9 o'clock, get your ass up and come home. That's the advice I give. But these days, 18-year-olds are too busy doing this crap. Sitting beside each other and texting. Wow, whatever happened to conversation?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we're having a great conversation here. Got my good friends here, you're here. Luckily, I'm still here. So, it all works out, man.
I much rather prefer this.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I only usually come in on a Monday or Tuesday, because intelligent conversation is hard to find around this place. Sometimes.
You could give a message to future generations about anything. What would it be?
Get the fuck off the phone. Start communicating with people. Be real. Understand life. Don't go by what you hear or what you go by what you see and you enjoy. Just let it come natural. You know, you just have to believe. Just believe, and get you a long way. That's
Alright, Jeffe. You've been doing great so far. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with a word association.
time out. It's over there. It was just numbers. Cut it off. Cut it off anyway.
This is why I love doing things unscripted. Anything.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna say a word, and you say the first word that pops into your head.
Association, right?
You ready?
Nope. Got to get something.
No better time than the present.
Alright.
Lucky.
Forgotten.
Friend.
Foe.
Sky.
Water.
What?
Water.
Water. Nice. Music.
Life.
Entertainment.
Enjoyable.
Green.
Blue.
Horses.
Ride.
Belief.
The only way.
Wish.
Thankful.
Want.
No.
Hair.
Long.
Fire.
Water.
Ice.
Cold.
Cars.
Suck.
Boats.
In love.
Shade.
Sunshine.
Sound.
Wonderful.
Mark.
Twain.
Motorcycle.
Deadly.
Snow.
Rain.
Ocean.
Beautiful.
Breeze.
Lovely.
Blonde.
Brunette.
Smile.
Exciting.
Complete.
Still living.
I like that. That's all my questions, Jeffe.
Is it? Anybody else got any?
What would be a saying you live by day to day?
Say again?
Your favorite saying?
My favorite saying? I'd have to say my love. I'd have to say my love. Because I only say that to people I do. And my favorite song, Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
How about author or book?
Oh, and by the way, are we still on? By the way, I've had this dream in mind that all my friends could get together and we could write a book. Everybody put a chapter, 10 to 12 pages or 5 pages or 4 pages. It didn't matter. Doesn't matter. But, and we can make a book about this place, about the true friends around here. I think that'd be really cool.
So a book written about an area from the people living in the area.
Exactly.
I like that.
Beaufort book?
The Beaufort Book Club.
Just this real people.
And I am actually curious about that one, being a writer. What's your favorite author or book?
I'd have to say Steinbeck, Old Man and the Sea, and Of Mice and Men. Two best books I ever read.
I remember reading Mice and Men when I was in high school and college.
Lenny.
Oh, your heart broke for Lenny.
Yeah.
He was such a sweetheart.
Yeah, but he heard everything. He couldn't help it. I understand that. Old Man in the Sea, that's tits. It is.
I like it.
You have any your favorite side job? Any good side jobs you did here and there?
Do what kind of job?
Side jobs stuff you did here and
Yeah, I used to like to go home. I come out of college and help my dad build a house. That was one of my favorite side jobs. Got a truck out of a couple of them. You know, I was young. Yeah, I loved it. I even quit school in college for, I think, 6 months to go help him build a house. Second house there. It's pretty cool.
Where'd you go to school and for what?
UNCW for oceanography and business.
Oceanography.
But I don't like to tell people how smart I am. I just play it fool. No, I'm kidding.
Was there a specific reason for oceanography? Was it more for the maritime side of it, or
The ocean.
you just wanted to be able to learn more about it?
I want to know everything about it. Just couldn't stay there that long. Then I went to work for Entropy. I'm missing like 8 credits. And here my life was happy. Back when the real MDA was there, wasn't MDDA synthetic crap. You know, blotter acid on the paper. Yellow jackets. Put myself through as much college as I went through. That paid my way. What else?
How about before college?
I was just a slut. I tried to be one, but wasn't real good at it till college. But it was lived a beautiful life. I'm going to continue living. There's a reason I'm hearing. This might be the start of it. No shit.
I like that outline. You've been awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I finally got to catch up with you and
Thank you,
take
bro.
care of this. We're a couple months behind schedule, but finally got it done.
Yeah. Do what? Eh? Popeye. I am's what I am's. From a famous philosopher. Popeye.
I love you. You are awesome.
You too, girl.